Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I am at Apex 2025. I'm on the Co-Young booth and I'm joined by Nicole Russo from Microboard. Nicole, pleasure to see you again.
Thank you, Phil.
How have you been? How did you enjoy the Leadership Summit?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all, and enjoyed this last year as well, so it's great to be back. The Leadership Summit was excellent, headlined by Audrey McGuckin and Catherine, and we do use them as strategy consultants, so it was great to see them in action with the crowd. And then I thought it was very well attended, a little better than last year's attendance, some real value-added discussions in the room, so we found benefit from it yesterday.
Yeah, and it was interesting, I thought, to see some of the larger European manufacturers that do have a small footprint here, but are predominantly European, actually participating. And I think hearing what they've got to say when you're workshopping and stuff, I think gives you a little bit of extra value.
Yeah, the panel was excellent between kind of a smaller, mid, and larger size EMS strategy and discussion.
Yeah, one of the panels you had, I think, with Mark and Chintan and probably Timon, I think, from Luminova, was on the use of AI. Was that something that a lot of people were talking about? Is that something that people like yourself are asking questions about, learning about as quickly as you can?
Well, I'll tell you, there's 7 of us here at the show from Microboard this year. We're looking to establish a second site. We can talk a little bit more about that. But my main goal here is AI.
Okay.
It is the future of, we all know that. If we're not understanding how this equipment can harness data and help autocorrect and give us enhancements, shame on us.
Yeah.
And so, many of these vendors, in my view, provide very similar attributes in their equipment.
Yeah.
The data and the AI. And AI has to start to show up in profit. It has to. And if you're not thinking that way, I think you're behind already.
Yeah.
So every discussion I'm having is AI and data. And I know it's a big word and people don't know how to interpret it, but we're just trying to boil it down to give us simple use cases. Really.
How are you using it? How are you getting return on investment? What are the KPIs you should be looking for? Did you listen to the keynote this morning from
I missed it. We were double tasking. We were at a supplier this morning for one of our large DoDs.
That was interesting, and it was very evangelic on the AI side, and I use it a lot. I would say it's been a 5x productivity boost for what we do in terms of content generation. My view is that if we can create a great story, like we have a great conversation today, I can then leverage AI to get that out in multiple languages, different formats, and do a whole bunch with it. So the idea of using AI as that amplifier of talent, I think, is really important. And I think that's part of what the EMS industry is looking for it to do. How does AI live alongside the great team you already have?
Yeah, well, and I'm looking at it from the aspect of workforce availability. As we know, we're an aging population. We're trying to hang on to our retarees. We're not getting enough entrants into this industry. And so, for example, Connecticut's growing our GDP mostly through Aerospace Alley, but our manufacturing employee base is shrinking. The way we're doing that is automation. And so tackling and putting AI on top of that, and there's a diminishing return at some point. You have to have people, obviously, but how does it marry together for the continued growth of all of our companies? It's critical.
Yeah, and how do you double the size of your company when you can probably only recruit maybe 10-15% more people in that same period?
And we're all fighting over the same people, which is the other thing that's really scary.
So then you've got to think about retaining talent and all that important stuff. So just going back to what you said earlier, expansion, you're looking to double in size or a different?
Yeah, so in the last 6 years, we've doubled the size of the business, and our plan is to do that again. By 2028, we have 2 of our largest customers asking us to open in the West. I have to stop ignoring them and really put that to work. So we've got a couple of things going on, and getting down to some finalist options, and we'll be doing something in the next 18 to 24 months maximum.
So you have choices. You acquire, you build something, you expand where you are.
Yeah, there's a couple options. I mean, one, greenfielding is obviously going to culturally align with us the best, but where do you get the employees, right? And acquisition, what talent's there? If there's a good pool of engineers and customers, that makes sense. The cultural thing we'll have to, and then there's a focus factory concept. Can we stand ourselves up within somebody else's already established factory? So we're looking at all 3 of those options. They're all very much alive as good opportunities right now.
Yeah, and I think the key, if you do go down the acquisition route, is that cultural fit, because I've always felt Microboard had a kind of a bit of a special, unique culture, and I think certainly to you, that's really important.
We do. I mean, we're a 41-year family-owned firm.
Yeah.
We've got the humanitarian piece that's really critical to us. We are not going to be private equity owned. It's although we're asked all the time. I could easily expand the business with all that capital. That's not what we're trying to do. We're smart owner-operators. We can expand it at the rate we want to while staying a family-owned firm.
Yeah.
I really want to know all 200 employees I have.
Yeah, and you have a higher mission than just assembling components on boards, and I think that's fantastic. But you've got to maintain that, and you've got to fiercely defend that part of your business culture.
We do, absolutely. The humanitarian piece that we always said we want to build the most leading edge technology in the world, which we are, while helping those least fortunate, making less than $1 a day. Yeah. It's a really fun way to jump out of bed every morning to go to work. And it just, we say there's no U-Haul behind your hearse. You got to live your legacy while you're alive. And we're taking the third generation through that now as they come up to the ranks. Yeah. So we do have to fiercely protect it. And we're proud of it.
Yeah. And you're obviously growing in terms of customer demand. Do you put that down to the market sectors you're in? You put it down to the specific mix of customers? Yeah,
well, there's no doubt defense is strong. We heard that yesterday. We keep hearing that. I think it will continue to be strong. The technological warfighter has to be supported. The other pockets, industrial, medical, those pockets are in a bit of a change, I think, as far as people are stalling out a little bit on what's this economy going to do, what are the tariffs going to do, but we see the technology advancing so fast. We have a telecom customer that is building bleeding edge cards with only 100 of these chips released in the world that we have in our factory. So that's the kind of stuff we're super excited about in the future. So a little pause in those industries is expected right now. We believe that demand will come back gangbusters once the tariffs and everything are kind of settled in.
Is it clarity? Is it a particular tariff outcome that you as a leader are looking for, or is it just a stable, clarified situation?
From all the business leaders that I've worked with and I'm hearing, it's stability. We need to just understand where this is all going to end up so we can plan. We can start investing in our businesses and make sure that the pockets of business that we're going after and are strong enough to support it going forward. So.
And last time we spoke, we talked a little bit about you expanding the talent pool, working with neurally diverse people. How's that gone over the last 12 months?
I have to say, Phil, it's been a harder discussion and process than we thought because there's obviously a wide spectrum there of folks. We've engaged a firm that's been helping us, and I think in some cases we've been very successful. In other cases, it's been a little harder than we thought. My heart just goes out and says, hey, everyone deserves a good job. Everyone. So we're it's not easy. We're moving through it and we're staying committed to it.
Yeah, these things aren't easy, but it's the outcome's worthwhile, isn't it?
Well, and we have a saying that if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So the high return things are never easy, and so we're going to stay at it.
Yeah, and the work you do, the products you manufacture, they're not the easiest ones. They're some of the tougher ones, and that's where you're able to add the most value.
That's
so I
right.
think that's important.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Nicole. Pleasure to talk to you
always
again.
Great.
As always, we'll chat again at least next year, hopefully before.
Absolutely, and please come see us.
Yeah, I will come see you. Thanks so much.
Phil. All right.